We begin with what Pan-African lawyers and rights groups have labeled a deeply entrenched authoritarian tendencies in the region following the arrest and deportation of People's Liberation Party leader Martha Karua, LSK Council member Gloria Kimani and human rights activist Lynn Ngugi from Tanzania. The three traveled to attend the treason trial of opposition leader Tundu Lissu, and as you'll hear now from Ayub Abdikadir, their ordeal at the hands of Tanzanian authorities was met with widespread condemnation and appeals for the Tanzanian government to adhere to the binding East African Community Treaty and Protocol.
We thought that as citizens of Jumuiya we were free, but not yet uhuru.
They arrived at Dar es Salaam's Mwalimu Julius Nyerere International Airport, and while under guard, denied entry, detained and deported back 6 hours after landing.
Just given us back our bags on the way to the deportation.
The trio, guests of the East African Law Society, were equally interested in the case against opposition leader Tundu Lissu, who was charged with treason by authorities in Tanzania, and his Chadema party disqualified from taking part in elections slated for October over his sustained calls for reforms before the polls. Lissu is due to appear in court on Monday. At home after landing at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Karua and her company recounted their predicaments at the hands of authorities in Tanzania.
If as citizens of Jumuiya we can be detained arbitrarily and deported, it means that the purpose of the Jumuiya is lost. It is a very sad time for East Africa, and it is up to us as citizens to say no to oppression.
Karua has in recent months cut figure of the defender of opposition leaders in the region and a vocal critic of what she labeled as democratic backsliding in East Africa. The former Justice and Constitutional Affairs Minister traveled to Kampala early this year to represent Kizza Besigye, who was forcefully abducted from Kenya. This despite denial to grant her practicing certificate by Uganda's Law Council, which rescinded its decision allowing her to appear for Besigye in a court-martial.
We want to tell you that citizens of East Africa, and I am one of them, we are not going to take it lying down. We will push back, and we shall not surrender to tyranny.
Her regional exploits alongside lobby groups lays bare the extent in deterioration of the rule of law in East Africa, shrinking democratic space, and a wanting human rights record amid concerns over deepening regional autocracy. Ayub Abdikadir, Citizen TV.